So in this next video, we're going to look at importing objects from other software. We're going to start off by looking at the SketchUp warehouse. As you know, the SketchUp warehouse, the 3D warehouse as it's now called, has a load of different models of all sorts of things like furniture, cars, trees, lots of different kind of content and things that you can import, even full models actually of buildings. So we're going to search through some of these and let's kind of see if we can find something we like the look of. I guess for me, there's a lot of variation on the SketchUp warehouse or 3D warehouse. Some of it's pretty good and some of it's maybe not what you're after. But let's go for it. Let's download this 1-bedroom ranch floor. That'll be a nice little example. So we'll just let that download and let's have a look at how we can import that. So click on the plus sign to start importing files. Let's go and select the model that we've just downloaded from our downloads folder. And you can see we can import SketchUp files without any kind of other process basically. Now when you do import, make sure you try to have a look at the options, and I would recommend you keep hierarchy or you can do collapse by material. Collapse by material means that all the materials in the SketchUp file will come through as one material, one object, or keep hierarchy allows you to actually keep the individual objects. Let's go ahead and click import. And it will process the data if it's reading in successfully, and then sometimes it will be in the middle of nowhere, so you have to kind of zoom in and zoom out. Good little tip here is to click onto the model and you can click F to fit to the model. So we can kind of give a little bit of an orbit round and have a look at our SketchUp model that we've imported. One thing you notice is the textures come through pretty nicely. Basically we can then replace different materials or textures as required. So that's quite straightforward, and you'll notice that everything that was one material in SketchUp will now be replaced with the new texture or material we apply in Twinmotion. So they come through pretty well, and the fact that you can import just native SketchUp files as well as things like FBX files, Revit files, ArchiCAD, and also Vectorworks via Cinema 4D is a real bonus. Okay, so let's go back to the 3D warehouse. Let's choose some other items. Let's have a look for maybe some more furniture-based stuff. So we'll kind of search for chair, and we'll kind of scroll down. You see what I mean? There's a bit of a variety of objects. Make sure you choose something nice. So we're going to download this particular chair back to Twinmotion, and we're going to click Import once again and select our model. Click Open. Let's go and select the latest chair we've downloaded. Click Open. And this time we'll click options and we will actually select the option for collapse by material again. Let's kind of see if we can find the chair. Here we go. Let's click on it and zoom in a little bit. Sometimes in the middle of nowhere, as I say, so if you click F it will fit to the chair. Other than that though, the geometry's coming pretty well. It looks quite nice and curved, quite smooth, and there's nothing to stop us now from perhaps going down. Let's say select some fabric. And we can drag maybe a nice kind of fabric material onto the chair, and you can see if we were to zoom in a bit here, maybe see a little bit more closely, some nice sort of textures on there. Now you can still colorize that texture just like we've shown you before in previous videos, and you can fiddle around with the other parameters. I guess reflection won't make a difference, but things like this scale of the texture will make quite a bit of difference on these individual textures. So let's have a quick look at maybe applying some wood onto the legs. Just be a bit careful with the woods. Most of the Twinmotion woods are to do with things like floors and things as opposed to individual textures. Let's drag some sort of metal legs on there. You can see that's looking a lot more realistic. So that's kind of cool. So basically any of these objects can be made into user library objects, and you can see in the organizational palette you can actually basically right click and essentially collapse the hierarchy, but we can also add to user library. Now when we add to user library, as we've said before, we go back to our library, click on user library here, and you can see here's the chair we just made. We can just drag it straight in from there, and actually there was the previous texture from one of the previous videos we also made. So we actually need to maybe create a new folder, right click, rename the folder, let's call this let's call this custom furniture. That's cool. And then once we've done that, we can essentially drag our new custom furniture item into there. So we can rename that at any time as well, which makes it a lot easier for us to search for in the future. So One of the lovely things with Twinmotion is it does ship with a massive library of textures and materials and objects, but we can easily build our own big library over time of our favourite imported materials and textures. Hello, my name is Jonathan Reeves from Real Time Rendering. Today, just before we share the Twinmotion tutorial on lighting, I wanted to show you my new website for real-time rendering. So if you visit real-timerendering.com, you can see the domain there. It's a great source of information on the new sort of real-time rendering software, particularly focusing on Twinmotion. So we've kind of really designed this to kind of give you a nice sort of simple area where you can get the information you need. We also have a few other services on there. So if you click onto Twinmotion itself, you'll get more information about the product and how Twinmotion can benefit your business. So that's pretty cool. A little bit of information about the interface and the environment, that kind of thing. We also have information on training and system requirements here. But if we click onto the training, our training pages, basically we provide different types of training, on-site training in normal times, in-house, but also at the moment we're doing a lot of online training. Now this led me on really to making a Twinmotion video training series. So if you do look on my channel, you'll see I've got lots of videos on Twinmotion, but I've actually produced a specific series really just to help you all kind of begin and learn Twinmotion in all the detail you need. So it's a really nice 12-part video series, and you can see it here on the store page. We'll just click onto the product there for a moment. And basically it's divided up into 12 videos. So we've got a really nice introductory video that will take you through, and basically there's a set of training notes that will go with this that I'll send as a PDF. We talk about the interface and introduce you to the interface, lots of hints and tips there as well, and then we'll get on to things like libraries and objects, materials, how to make materials, use them and edit them and so on, and then making custom materials, particularly focusing on things like the Quixel website workflow. We'll talk a little bit about kind of sculpting the terrain and landscape and environments, and refer to how you can kind of use the tools to make landscape models. And then we get on to importing models from other software, whether it's like Vectorworks or SketchUp, maybe ArchiCAD, Revit, that kind of thing. Here's the tutorial on lighting that I'm going to share with you for free, and you'll see that this is a really nice tutorial on all the different types of lighting, sort of IES lights, area lights, point lights, and that kind of thing. We've got a couple of other really in-depth tutorials. These are about half an hour long each. And we'll kind of take you through a really nice external tutorial focusing on exporting images and animations. And then we've got a couple of other videos down here. Really nice one on Office tutorial 1 and 2. So these are mainly interior focused, but they really will kind of teach you a lot of tools and techniques. So for the limited time only, it's at half price. And if you watch the video, in the link in the description, I will also put a code to get some extra discount.